Okay. Let's see if it works this time. Look at me just staring at the camera. I'm like, oh, that's a horrible look. I look so lost. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Hey, Bonnie. Hi, Lacey. Bonnie and Lacey. I love you guys. That'd be, hey, like Cagney and Lacey. Bonnie and Lacey. New TV show. So I don't know if Duane is going to... Uh-oh, frozen. That's not good. Let's see if it unfreezes. Y'all keep me posted. It's just now 6 o'clock. Let's see. Okay. Let me know if you unfreeze or if it's still frozen or what the deal is. Fine here. Okay. Yay. So Duane was going to join me, and he still might come up here. He's just been... The jobs they've had him on lately have just been really rough. And so... he is just not, he's just, you know, like he just got home from work and he's exhausted, and right now he's just sitting on the couch. He said let him catch his breath and see if maybe he feels like coming up. But he loves you guys, so don't take it personal. Hi, Cindy. Oh my goodness. Okay, good. I'm glad you see me and hear me now. So I went live on a different page a minute ago, and it kind of threw me all out of whack. I probably shouldn't have done that so close to this, but that's okay. That's okay. Look at me. I'm wearing my pink zebra shirt today. Yay. Oh, good. Okay, so tonight's going to be a little different, I guess. I had kind of an epiphany today, so I'm just going to kind of share it with everybody. I thought, you know what? Let's just be real. Hey, Kara. So that's what we're going to do. But first, I'm going to just talk about a few things I want to make sure everybody is aware of, which I'm sure y'all are. Tomorrow, if you have any Canadian team members, or if there's anybody here on this, there will be a training tomorrow, so that'll be good. You can find the information in the back office. Am I okay? Yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay. I just had an epiphany today, and I was just like, oh my gosh. So anyway, it was just one of those weird, it was kind of like an aha moment, actually. It's one of those real moments. I know. I love it when Duane is with me. I kind of feel lonely when he's not here, but I got to give him a break. The poor guy, he's been working so hard, and he's like driving an hour to get to work and then an hour to get home, and then of course in the traffic and everything. Houston traffic is just so bad. So yeah, so I'm trying to give him a little bit of a break, and maybe he'll pop in and say hello. Hopefully he will. But anyway, okay, so March. Let's just talk about March real quick, and then we'll move on. I know I said it in my, probably in my posts that you guys read, but holy cow, March was incredible. 2.6 million just for our team. That's not for the whole company. That's just our team. Would he give you a break? I don't know, Bonnie. That's a good question. I don't know if he would or not. That's funny. Oh, here he comes. Hi, honey. Everybody's asking about you.
Sorry I'm late.
Oh, goody. He's going to come join us. He's got himself a cup of coffee. Bonnie just said, would you give me a break? So it's like, oh, it's probably good that you join us. Yay. Okay, let me scoot. Make sure we both fit in here. Yeah, you can hear Bucky, right? Scoot on in here, honey. Say hi.
Hi.
There he is. Oh, goodness. Thank you for coming up here. I know you're exhausted. I'm going to put your glasses on so you can see. So I was just telling everybody, March we had a $2.6 million month for our team.
Wow.
I know. That's not even all companies.
What is wow, that's got to be like one of the best months ever.
Well, I think it's right up there for sure. I think we had I want to say 2.8 in one other month.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because 2.5 or more is really awesome.
Right? I know. So,
wow.
Awesome job, everybody.
Yep.
He hates doing this when he's trying to relax. I know, but he's just so loyal. So glad. So anyway, so that was awesome. It looks like everybody really had a great month. The pineapple is still available. So we got the pineapple, which is awesome. It's cute. Super cute. Pink Zebra Independent Consultant. Oh, that's Crystal. That? It's Crystal, yeah. Hi, Crystal.
Hello, everybody. Hi, Lacey. Hi, Bonnie. Hi, Crystal.
Kara's on too.
Hi, Kara.
I don't know who else is on. We got a few others that haven't said hi, but just say hi. Okay, so pineapple's still up. Okay, so I was gonna say that I just want the PDC sprinkles. Oh, I know. Pineapple. What is it? Upside down cake. I'm anxious to smell those. I did order one. I thought either I would have it or my mother might like it. So because it's a pineapple. Hi, Sari. So anyway, it looks like the number of parties has really picked up. Is anybody on this team call? Is anybody in Tom's Sweet 16 group or 16er or whatever it's called? I'm in it. I'm a little behind now. Lacey's team did 31K. Wow, that is awesome.
Cool.
Yeah. Wow.
Now that's awesome.
That is so cool. I love that.
Now what's awesome is when you start, you're like, how is this going to happen?
Uh-huh.
How do you get there? How do you make it grow? It just takes time and effort.
Yeah.
And just stay at it. It's just determination and stick with it.
I think I saw Crystal posted something on her business or her group page about how like she compared like when she started a year ago.
Yeah.
No, it's been 2 years. Has it been 2 years? It feels like it's only been, I don't know. Anyway, she posted of like where she was and how she never thought she'd be where she's at. And then, so yeah, that's awesome, Lacey.
Yep.
Sari's in that group. That's right. You are. I don't know if anybody else is, but we'll talk about that a little bit in a minute.
This just means you got to just stick with the positive and not let the negative run you down.
Right.
Because the negative will run you down.
I was going to say, wait till you hear what I have to say in a little while, because you're going to see what kind of day I've had. Or actually,
if you're going to let negativity run your life, then it could run your business. So you just got to put it aside and keep focused.
And it's hard to do sometimes, but yes. Yeah. Hey, Christy! So yeah, Crystal said, okay, so 2 years in August, and she hit 55K.
Wow.
Last month. I know. That's crazy awesome. So.
And a lady, I'm trying to think, what was it? A lady asked one time about growing her business or something, and I told her, I think you were there. Oh, you were there. I said something. I said, you just got to be lucky. It takes a lot of luck. And she's like, well, it's true. You got to be lucky that when you open your mouth, the right people are listening.
Ooh, that's
because
true.
If you're talking to people that aren't going to purchase or have an interest in it, then it's luck. I mean, like some people join at the same time. Some people will advance higher and quicker than the other person. It's just this person is lucky and communicates to the right people.
Right.
Or this person's
the
people she's talking to is, she's not quite as lucky to get the right people.
Well, and luck, I mean, it's work. It's not just
luck. But it's luck.
But it is a little bit of luck on getting in front of the right people, saying the right things. You're right.
Right.
And it's, I mean, I feel very lucky because when I got in, it was still, I say lucky. That wasn't lucky in the beginning because it was hard and nobody wanted to hear, anything about us when we went to vendor shows. But
we were brand new. We were the new kid.
And so people were kind of curious and like, what is that? So, and we knew what to say and kind of how, So, anyway, hi, Abby. So, yeah, it does, luck definitely plays into it, but that luck has everything to do with what you set yourself up for, what you prepare yourself for.
Right.
It's not just simply luck that it falls into your lap.
No.
It
seems like it's luck for some people.
For some people?
I mean,
Ask Crystal Kelly if that was luck.
Well, I mean,
no, she worked her butt off.
Well,
and I know Lacey too. So
that's true.
Yeah. It was so much harder in the early years because we had to tell everyone. I know exactly. It was hard, but there was. I mean, I don't know that luck was involved at all because I was working.
It's still hard because you still got to get out there and do it.
Right.
You're just doing different things now than you did when we started.
Well,
because
I was.
I've
gone back to
now you're going back a little bit because you grew too fast. I guess I don't know, but now we're backing up to go back to what.
I didn't grow too fast. I just didn't know what to do because we didn't have. I didn't have a whole lot of people to follow. I didn't know what to do. So
some of the avenues you went down were dead ends. You had to try and come back and decide what road
a lot of it with me was trial and error. And I got lucky sometimes that I did the right thing. Yeah. There we go. There's the luck. Bonnie said I did 250 bags each for 2 different bridal shows and so far not even peep. Maybe I will. And what would really be great is if there was a way to follow up with any of those people, because I think that's the key, because you're going to have people that have so I've been to several things where somebody really piqued my interest and maybe I got their card, and I got to tell y'all, this is funny. So I come home, let's see if I can do this without knocking everything over. I come home and I'm like, oh, I want to make sure I save that. Well, I don't know if you can see this. Let's see. But this is all the cards that I've collected. Guess what? I forget what's in there, so I don't go back to it. But if one of those people were to ever call me and follow up, I would be like, oh, yeah. So I think that is a huge, if you can figure out a way to get people so that you can follow up, that would be awesome. I did have one lady, she was a wine lady that I met, and I really liked, it was all Napa wines, and I was like, okay, well, we like Napa wines. Well, I came in, I put her card in that same spot, never did anything, didn't even look at her website. She followed up with me, and I bought 5 bottles from her. So I think follow-up is going to be the key. But anyway, good job, though, getting it out there, and hopefully there's a little bit of follow-up.
At least 250 people now have heard of Pink Zebra.
Exactly.
So the next time, they'll say, oh, I know what that is.
See, Crystal said it's not luck, it's consistency. Exactly.
It's luck.
It is not.
It's luck.
Oh, you're so bad. No, it's luck. It's hard work. I don't care what you say.
If you put the work in, you'll get
good things happen. Right. Have them fill out customer care cards. That's a great idea. Let's see. Hi, Deborah. Let's see who else came on.
But you have to get out of your shell and do follow up.
Yeah. Well,
that
just
is
get out
difficult.
Of your shell.
That's the hard part. I'm gonna call it a complete stranger and ask them how they feel about.
But if you've given them something, if they've gotten something from you, then it's okay to follow up with them and ask them, what'd you think?
Well,
Cindy's got a stack of cards too. What's hard is just calling somebody random or trying to talk to somebody random that you don't know. That's where I'm all about. Like, I know people talk about this go for no. I'm like, I can't go for no.
So what would be a good approach for someone that can't talk to people?
Well, you're on fire tonight.
You make just call to tell them who you are and ask them a few questions.
If you've given out a sample
and
you have their information. No.
Okay.
I'm just saying, you're kind of like taking me off a completely different, but that's okay. This is good. If you've given out a sample to somebody and somebody has taken it and you've gotten their information, you call them or text them.
You've already had contact with these people.
Right. And just say, hey, this is Dana from the blah, blah, blah event. And you got a sample and I'm just curious, what'd you think? Did you try it? Did you like it? Are you still smelling it? Tell me about it. What'd you think?
Okay.
And then when they say, I loved it, then ask them, okay, great, whatever.
Would you like to have a party, or would you like to buy some more? Or?
Well, yeah, I don't know. I'd be careful, I would first just kind of see how they respond to that. And don't start immediately selling, because then that may be a turnoff. But you can ask them if they would like to have, to be able to have an opportunity to smell more things, if they're local to you, obviously.
Yeah.
They had a sample to smell and added a big note explaining what PZ was and how to do a sprinkle bar. Okay, cool. Good luck. But yeah. Awesome. So talking about all of this, today when I had my little epiphany.
Good to the last drop.
Oh my God. Yeah, you know what? Cindy says that's why I wear my Pink Zebra shirts and pins. When I wear, even when I go to my vendor event, or not my networking groups, I have a name tag that has my name and our logo on it. Just because I want people to associate, when they look at me, associate me with Pink Zebra logo. Because it is huge. It's a big deal after a while. People will... After
a while, you'll be the PZ lady.
Right. And people will say, something about... In fact, I have it happen now quite often. I'm in a couple of these networking groups. Somebody will say, hey, does anybody have a Scentsy lady out there? And I don't even have to say anything. Now I have friends in those networking groups that say, you need to talk to Dana. She sells Pink Zebra, and it is so awesome. So it's all about, it's awesome. It is awesome. So anyway, okay, so let me get back real fast. Okay, so the last few days, and your pink zebra prayers, of course. So the last few days, actually for about a week now, I've been trying to decide what I was going to talk about tonight. Because these calls, I always try to give you guys some decent meaty information that you can take back and hopefully put something into use, right? People just call her the pink lady. I love it. Yes, so I have... Would you stop? You're totally distracting me.
I'm sorry. Buggy's licking my toes.
Okay, well, I hate that. So
I know, that's why I'm trying to tell him to stop. But I'm distracting you. Buggy, you have to stop. Mama don't like when you lick my toes.
Okay, so maybe it wasn't such a good idea for him to join me this evening. Because okay, so I gotta talk. Okay, I'm gonna focus in. You can stay here, but just be, yeah, okay. So anyway, so I have spent the last week or so trying to figure out what to talk about with you guys. And I have done what I always do. I am constantly looking for people to learn from. I am constantly, anytime I see a new person out there doing any kind of direct sell training or network market training, I'm like, I hone in on it and I try to learn something. And then I make all these notes. I have books upon books of these little things, I don't know if you can see it, that are just filled with notes that I take, okay? So that I have something to come back to you guys with. Well, when I was doing that this time, I kept hitting a wall. Every time I would like, okay, I'm going to talk about this, I kept hitting a wall. And I could not figure out why until today. I had a conversation with a dear friend of mine, and I was kind of explaining my struggles. And I know, I wanted him there. I know, right? Anyway, I was explaining my struggles, and it was kind of like I had that aha moment. I realized okay, so kind of back up again. In doing all of this training, I have tried so many different ways of doing my business. Tom started this 16 group where you try to book 16 parties. And so I tried to hone in on 16 parties. Well, while I'm doing that, I couldn't do anything else. I was completely focused on 16 parties, which is great, except that now I'm not working on recruiting. I'm not taking care of, making sure I'm doing some little things for the team here and there. So anyway, so what's happening is I'm suddenly realizing I'm going too many directions. So does anybody ever feel like you are just taking in way too much information and don't know what to do with anything? I mean, any of it. Like you're just totally at a loss because you have trained and trained and trained on so many different things that it's like, okay, now what? It's like, I have done all of these things. I have learned or tried to do, yes, overload, total overload. I am like totally on overload. I was doing Tom's Sweet 16, or whatever it is, 16er thing. I was doing Leah Aganami or whatever. And I was doing, am doing the training for, I'm drawing a blank on her name. Molly Mahoney on video and social, network, social, whatever. I can't even think. Anyway, I was way too much, way too much. So yeah, so I realized that I'm going in too many directions and that everybody, okay, so all of these different things that I also am learning is one person says, whatever you do in your business, don't do this. Another person says, do this, and tell you to do exactly what that person just said don't do. And so all of these different little experts in the field are telling us all these different things, and all this different information is going in my head. And so today, when I was talking to my friend, I said, okay, you know what? Stop. I have to do what works for Dana. You guys have to do what works for you. If you love having home parties, then do training on home parties so that you can get better at it. If you love it, or if there's an area that you really, really, really want to learn about, which really right now, all I'm interested in learning about is doing more videos. I want to do Facebook Lives. I want to really get good on video so that I can post some stuff and kind of increase the YouTube channel and all that other stuff. And so that was my whole reason for joining Molly Mahoney's course. I paid money for it. I'm like, and then I'm so sidetracked because I'm like, oh my gosh, wait, I've got to do parties and I've got to look at, Tom's, all his stuff, and I'm doing all these different things. So reality is I had an epiphany that we if you are like me and in that situation, we literally have to take a step back and we have to realize, number one, we need to do what works for us. And we all have different expertise. We all have different talents, and we have to do what works for us, because this is our business. And just because I do, something one way and Deborah does something another way, neither of us are wrong. We're both right as long as our business is progressing, right? So,
right, Dana.
Thank you. So yes, focus on what you're good at, and then right. So that's kind of what I decided. And so today, that was what I was coming here to you guys with. I didn't have any great, like I said, I kept hitting a block. I'm like, I don't know what to teach them because I right now I can't take any more in. I mean, I cannot learn anything else. Just do you. Exactly. I've got a thing on my computer here that says you do you. And here I went and started doing all these different things. So, you can BS with the best of them. Hey, that's good. BS with them. That'll work.
That gets their attention.
That's right. That's right. So my advice, or my training, if you want to call it that tonight, is to simply determine what you're good at. Brendon Burchard says that, instead of trying to focus on what you're not good at, some people are just not good at something. Instead of trying to focus on that and getting frustrated because you can't figure it out, go back to what you're good at and hone in on that and get better at it and just continue to get better at it and do the best that you can with that. Now, there's always going to be stuff we want to learn in other areas, which, like this video stuff, it's not that I'm horrible at it. It's just there's so much I want to learn because I want to do it right.
Well, I know that you have recharged or restarted your track twice. Mm-hmm. I know of twice. Mm-hmm. A couple years ago, when you were focused so much on teaching everybody, your business went to shit. Mm-hmm. I mean, poop. So you stopped so much teaching and started work. It was hard to tell people to do something if you wasn't doing it.
Right.
So that's when you started Beat the Director, which challenged you.
To challenge me.
Which also challenged everyone else.
Right.
And then here lately, you've noticed that you needed to reboot. And so you're doing things differently now.
Right.
Because you got sidetracked. Again. And then you get sidetracked, you go down that path a while, and then all of a sudden it's like, you know what? How did I get here?
Right.
I'm supposed to have been going down this path, but yet I veered off and got over here. So now let me back up and get back over here and go down my path again.
Right. And you know what I think some of that is because we are a very tight-knit company, I believe. I think that we are such a family that when something comes from home office, especially from Tom Gaines, there's a part of us that feels we must follow suit.
But you also got to understand, he's probably not speaking to everyone.
No, and he's not.
And then you'll have to decide, is he speaking to me?
Correct.
So he may not be speaking to me because I'm kind of doing my own thing and I'm pretty successful at it. Right. So he's talking to the people that are not successful and don't really know what to be doing.
Right.
And so he's helping them.
And it's a fun challenge. I mean, I think he's thinking this is going to be great. This is a great challenge. Heidi, go ahead, ask your question. Just type it up and we'll definitely answer you. So yeah, I think that I have kind of done this in the last several months. Well, when I started coaching, when I was coaching with Brendon Burchard's group last year, I kind of did go back to, what do I like to do? Because the whole point of me leaving the corporate world was to enjoy my days, to have control of my day, to do things that I love to do and enjoy them for the most part. Now, of course, everybody's going to have a crap day, but But for the most part, I have control of that. And so that's why I decided to go back to doing things the way I like to do them. I like to have home parties when I can. There's not a ton of people that always want to have them, but when somebody wants to, I'm all over it because I love having the home party. I love vendor events. I love it when people come walking down and you're just like, hey, engaged. And I love that. I love doing vendor events. I love my networking groups. I've made some good friends in my networking groups, and I love them. I think they're awesome. And I even choose to deliver the products to my customers. If they're local and I have them now just coming to me. They come to me and say, hey, can you order me blah? Or they'll send me a text. Hey, can you order? And I order it, and then I have it. And of course, I try to do it all like in a little party bunch so that I can at least get a free and half off. But I will deliver it because I want to make sure that's important to me to give good customer service. And I know that if for some reason they were to go to somebody else here in the area, they may not have that person deliver to them. So it's important to me to do that kind of stuff. So with that, it's like I'm going to hone back in on that and just continue to get to improve in those areas and learn how to improve in those areas. And then what I want to learn is I want to learn more about connecting on social media. I do want to learn that. My current focus is learning more about doing videos and doing Facebook Lives. And not just for the team, but actually to do them to where they reach out to the customers. Molly Mahoney is who I signed up for that course, and I'm going to get back to focusing on that. I mean, she does something every single day, and I'm behind right now. So I want to refocus on that. Okay, let's go back here. Lacey says she's running in circles. I know. I do know now exactly that feeling, and you just kind of have to okay, so let's sit down and think about the priorities. What do I like to do? What do I want to do? And then kind of pick up and go from there and do the things that are going to make you happy at the end of the day. Okay, Heidi says, my grandmother has COPD and lung issues. She wants to try them, but wants to okay it with the doctor. I need a list of the ingredients. I can't find it. What do I do? That's a customer service question, really. Unless somebody else has an answer. When it has something to do with lung issues and COPD, I do know that people that have asthma and stuff like that, it doesn't affect them. But I don't know about COPD. And if a doctor's involved, and I don't know that they can tell us all of the ingredients. Soy, and it is a paraffin wax blend, but I don't know. Does anybody else know? I'm sorry, Heidi. I wish I had the answer for you.
That could be something we need to
get
for our own future references.
Yeah,
when somebody does ask, hey, what's in your product? Oh, well, these are some of the main ingredients.
Well, it's a food grade product, so you can eat it. But yeah, I would definitely check with customer service and just ask them what their recommendation is, because that's kind of a tough one.
Yeah.
You don't
want to take our information and say it's okay.
No.
And plus, you want to give it to the doctor, so to be accurate with the information.
Get it from customer service, because and you don't, if something were to happen, she wants to support. Oh, that's sweet. Yeah, I know she does want to support you.
Awesome.
Please post her info on your site. Oh, Molly Mahoney. Okay, so that is one thing that I am going to give you guys. So, and also I was going to mention, when we talk about parties, when, Tom's doing this 16 thing, I know he really wants home parties, but there are so many people doing social media parties or online parties that are so successful at it. So again, it's another area where you do what works for you, what you're most comfortable with. If you like to do events and that's what makes you happy, do events. I love events. Home parties are awesome. I love home parties. Party on the go. I love party on the go because I can literally just take it, set them up with their couple of catalogs and some invoices, and then check back in a few days. It's an easy thing.
Okay, I have a question. Party on the Go. Who do you give them to?
Well, I give them, because we have so many corporate offices around here, and a lot of them were my customers.
Okay.
So I reach out.
Contacts.
I do.
So what about a person that doesn't have contacts?
Well, everybody has a contact. I mean, if you know anybody, if you're in a town and you know anyone, if you know somebody at a car dealership,
this group you're in, what is it that you go?
Well, one of them is BPW.
BPW? Now, they only meet during the day? Do they have, some people can't go during the day, like you're able to go for lunch?
Well, it's a lunch. It's a lunch.
Well,
so most people,
is there an evening deal that people can get involved in?
Okay, so I don't know if everybody has Meetup. It's I think it's an app, actually. But you can find some evening events to network with people. It's called Meetup, MEETUP, if you need to do something in the evening.
Well,
let me tell you,
because this is awesome to meet people.
Right.
This is awesome to meet new customers
right.
and party hosts.
Right.
Because this is a great way to do it.
Most of these people, if they're not in direct sales, they do have, like, there's a lot of ladies. There's a lady there that works for a bank. There's a lady there that works for a dental office. I mean, there's also
the
an
bank
insurance
lady invited
agency.
us to go to the Astros game last year.
Yeah, that was
That was cool.
But
so
my point,
there's benefit in these people, folks.
But my point is, though, that these are luncheons, networking luncheons, and they're very, like, it starts at 11:30, and we are done and out of the room by 1. So yeah, you do have to take a little bit of an extra lunch, but they're very conscientious about the time because they want people to be able to get back to the office.
Yeah.
So. Okay. Okay. So Party on the Go, online parties are awesome. There's so many different people now that have different techniques out there. I know the tag team teaches one way. I know that Krista Clay, Jessica Washington, several others out there that have some really cool techniques about how they do online parties. So, anything like that. And the beautiful thing is that anyone you ask these ladies for some assistance, they will give it to you. Everybody is so kind in this company in regards to sharing like that kind of stuff. So it's awesome. Girls' night out are fun if you can find maybe like a little wine bar in the area, and ask them if you can come in and just kind of set up a small display, or tell them you're going to invite some people that you know and have some of your friends come out, so that way maybe they're buying the wine too, and whatever. What else? Marketing to brides like Bonnie was doing. You can do a candle bar at the reception. You guys, I don't know if everybody knows about the YouTube video. It was done a long time ago by a consultant that had it at her wedding, and she was on 3 weddings. Wait, what was it? If somebody remembers the name of the show. Anyway, she was on a show, and I think she won. But anyway, she was on a show, and she showed her candle bar, and that's what she did as a guest favor. So that was kind of cool. And then also, even bridal showers. If someone's wanting to put a TLC, yeah, it was on TLC. I just don't remember the name of the show. 4 weddings. Thank you. That's it. 4 weddings. Thank you, guys. Y'all are awesome. But anyway, showers. So if you know somebody that's throwing a shower for somebody, tell them, hey, why don't you have a candle bar? You guys, you can set up a candle bar and not even be there. Like, you can go in and set it up for them and then come back when it's over. And, you want to obviously figure out what you're going to charge. And maybe you don't even come back when it's over. You just charge them whatever and they keep everything. I mean, I don't know. It's your business. You can kind of do whatever you want to do, which is a beautiful thing. Any kind of showers are awesome. Birthday parties. Somebody posted about doing a little girl's birthday party, and everybody got to make a jar and mix it however they wanted. I mean, easy, fun stuff. I referenced that info paper in the bags with the sprinkle cards. Good. Perfect. I love that. So anyway, there's so many ways that we can do these different parties and different things, and just getting your information out there and talking to people that's the biggest thing. And trying to create relationships. One of the things I also had read when I was doing all this research was that, when you, especially if you have a business page, but if somebody likes your business page, just send them a message and say, hey, thanks for liking my page. Just if nothing else, maybe they'll respond, maybe they won't. But, if they respond, they may come back and start a conversation.
So do you recommend business pages?
Okay, so I
don't have a business page.
Yes, you do.
I do?
Yeah. What do you think you post on? That's what you do.
My personal
page. No. You also have a business page that you don't even realize. That's funny.
That's our...
Well, it's got both of us on there now because I have to post on it sometimes because you're not on it often enough.
I know, thank you.
I know, but people still want to watch you, which is so funny. So my personal advice, because people will say yes and no to the business pages, I am a firm believer that I just want to be everywhere. So I have a business page. I have a VIP group. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Twitter. I'm on YouTube. I am even on Pinterest. I'm not very active on Pinterest, so shame on me. But I believe just, it's not that I'm just throwing it out there and hoping something will stick, but it kind of like is how it is.
Well, you got to,
because you never know.
You got to get out there,
right?
Or else people
and you never know who's looking at what.
Right.
So that's my.
So that's where the consistency comes in.
Right.
Got to be consistent.
Got to be consistent.
Because when you post something, next thing you know, it's gone.
Right.
So you got to post again.
Right.
And the next thing you know, it's gone. So you got to constantly keep.
And you can
posting.
repost stuff. Like, if you have a cool picture and 3 days goes by, post it again. Well, yeah, but that doesn't always.
They don't always push it up.
Not always. Sometimes, but just post it again. I mean, different people are going to see it because it's going to be somewhere else in the. It's going to be somewhere else in the. Oh, Meetup just popped up on my emails. That's so funny. Anyway, post it again. I mean, I think even Colby says somebody's got to see something like 7 or 8 times before it starts to even sink in.
Well, exactly. That's what I always said about when we did events. People aren't going to buy the first time they see us.
Right.
They're going to have to see it again.
Right.
And again. And then finally it's going to go, hey, we always see them.
And
let's go buy something.
Now they come looking for us.
Let's go see what it is. I mean, so if you do an event and it's horrible, but there's a lot of people, the next time should be a better event.
If you do an event,
people are going to see it a second time.
Absolutely.
And then a third time. Then they're going to get curious.
Don't get discouraged if you do an event and don't get any
If it's plenty of traffic and you got a lot of folks, it will get better.
And if you can do a carton, like even if it's just a few cartons, or maybe you make a couple of mixes and you have some empty jars, if you can do that, it does get people to kind of come over and go, what are you doing? Because it's an activity. They're filling up these jars. And I don't know, there's something about you bringing them in with an activity that people do like. They like that. Bonnie, what is that? Probably going to set up a pink zebra in my other company at a Harley-Davidson Rumble. That ought to be cool.
Ooh,
that ought to be
Bonnie,
cool.
Harley-Davidson Rumble.
Right? Okay. Customer service is very important. I had a girl who bought a light a week ago, only had it for 4 days, knocked it off the table, broke the dish and the bulb. She called me, and I told her I had both on. Oops, did it stop? Oh, it cut you off. Okay, so the last thing I was going to share, was some of the different people that I do turn to fairly regularly. There are a lot of different ones out there. And again, somebody may appeal to you that just absolutely you connect with. And that's the person you should follow for sure, as long as you're learning from them. Follow them and see what they have to say. But some of my favorites I listed, and you guys have probably heard me talk about most of these people before, but I thought I would list them again in case anybody's looking, if you don't have that that connection yet with a trainer or these people that are out there. And most of this stuff, guys, you can get it for free. Most of them, they try to give nuggets of free information because they're trying to draw you in so they can sell to you, but take as much of the free as you can, by far. So Tanya Eliza, she does Build Your Business Like a Boss. She's really good, and I do follow her for the free nuggets. I almost paid to do one of her trainings, but I just had too many going on. But I've been following her for a while now, and she does offer a lot of good information. And then you can get in on her Build Your Business Like a Boss page. And there's other people in there also giving great information. So that's Tanya Eliza. Y'all have probably heard of her. Y'all have heard me talk about Ray Higdon in the past. He is great with tips on network marketing, and he throws out a lot of free stuff too. A lot of free stuff. Jessica Higdon, his wife, she is super awesome with social media. Most of her stuff isn't free, so I just get what I can that's free from her. The tag team, you guys know the tag team. They were with us at a reunion a couple of times ago. They're awesome. They are really good with online partying and social media. They're good with a lot of different things. And they're just fun. They're fun to watch. They do, they have some amazing branding for themselves, no doubt, with that old minivan thing and all of that. So the tag team is awesome to follow. Again, they offer a lot of complimentary stuff. They do have some stuff they charge for, but you know, you don't have to go there. You can just take in all the complimentary stuff. Socialite Suite, it's an attraction, marketing, personal branding, and sponsoring strategy platform. I'm on that. I forget sometimes to go check it out, but every time I go back to it, I pick up some tips, you know, that are helpful. So that's Socialite Suite. You guys know I love Brendan Burchard. His Motivation Manifesto is the book that really pushed me over the top to have the confidence in myself to quit my corporate job and to do this 100% of the time. And he is the group that I went through the coaching with last year and really learned so much about really how to live life and be present and feel, you know, joy and like stay focused, and just all of those things really taught me a lot. And I still, to this day, I am a firm believer in following my my planner and doing some of the exercises that, you know, he taught and all that. And I still listen to his podcasts. He's amazing. He's more for motivation and learning how to be a high performer. So, you know, if you need that kind of thing, I need that kind of thing. But if you do, he's great at that. 4 or 5, 6 of his books. Haven't read them yet. His books are really, like Motivation Manifesto is such a great read. And it's fairly easy to read, and he gets right into it. His next one, which, well, he's got several, but the high performance habits. I've read that. There's lots of exercises to do in there. That's one that I'll continue to go back to learn and continue to grow with, because there's just so much. Dean Graziosi, he talks about success habits. Again, it's kind of self-development type stuff, but it's business related. It's all about just finding these habits to be a success in whatever it is you're doing, and not just a success with life, with work, but also with just life in general. Dean, let's see, I don't know which one you were. Okay, so there's Brendan Burchard. Cindy's asking what's his name. Brendan Burchard, Burchard, and then Dean Graziosi, Graziosi. He's awesome. Leah Agami, she's the one that we just are doing that. There's a training that we're doing on learning how to post correctly, how to reach out to people correctly, how not to spam, you know, that kind of stuff. She's very good. Her class was a charge, but it wasn't exorbitant. So I did jump in on that, and I've learned a lot. So she's really good. And then Social Tenacity. It's all about sales and recruiting, and that's a group on Facebook as well. And then Molly Mahoney is the one that I have paid for her training, and it's hopefully it's funny because I like her because the first, like, we've made it through 15 days of the course, and we haven't gone live yet. Like, a couple of people have, but she's like giving you all the steps to prepare so that when you go live with intent. You go live with with an actual plan in mind. So I'm loving that. I'm learning a lot. So hopefully I'll be able to do that and grow from there. So, but anyway, yeah, so my message tonight really, guys, is, you know, if you're going in totally different directions and you're doing too many things, it's okay to take a step back and reevaluate what's important to you and what you want to focus on. Because when we're trying to take in too much, I don't think we take in anything. It's like Tom was saying one time, you know, when you're doing too many things, you're not doing anything because you're just giving little bits and pieces of yourself here and there. And that's kind of what I ended up doing because I was doing too many things. And that's, you know, that's not good. I'm just spinning my wheels and I'm not getting anywhere. And that's where I was like, okay, I got to back up. And then I started thinking, I bet other people are feeling this too. And when I talked to my friend today and she was like, oh my gosh. And so I'm like, okay, so other people are thinking this way. And so I just, you know, wanted to share that with you guys and let you know that it's totally normal. And we just have to kind of reevaluate and pick and say no. You know, I was really good there for a while at saying no, and I still am. But I think for some reason when Tom got involved and was throwing that out there, and it's like, and he just kind of threw out that challenge, and it was like, well, yeah, I'll take that challenge. I didn't realize what was going to come with that, and so it's kind of like, had I known, I probably would have said, not right now, maybe later, because I am working on some other things, and I don't want to be going too many directions.
What's Molly's last name?
Mahoney, Mahoney, and she's awesome. She's one of those that does the video. I can't do it because I've got too much glare, but she gets right up here. It's like her face. I can't do that, but she gets right into the picture and she's like, hello. she's really, but she tells you don't, I mean, that's not your, like, if that's not your thing, don't do it. I'm like, I won't. That's not my thing. I'm not going to get on that. She sings. She's trying to tell you stuff. But yeah, she's awesome. And I've learned a lot from her. I have a whole nother book on just stuff that I'm learning from her, but it's good stuff. Molly's who I learned. The quesadilla of awesome. Yes. We just did that. And which you turned into the awesome sauce casserole. That's awesome. I love that. Yeah, we just did the quesadilla of awesome. I knew I'd heard that before. It was from you, Melina. Duh. But yeah, so, which is really cool because and that, you know, when you stop and think about all the things that, it's all about branding ourselves. And so you have to stop and think about the things that make you an individual and what you're good at. And then you go from there, you kind of brand yourself from there. So I've said it before, but I really enjoy these Tuesday Lives. Aw, it gives me inspiration and they are fun. I love them too. I wish there was some way that we could see everybody because wouldn't that be fun?
Maybe.
I think it would be fun. We'd all be talking at the same time though. But it would be fun. But I learn something every time I do one of these with you guys. Especially now that I'm not, because when I was doing them every week, it was just like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And it was a little too much.
Well, you had to back up.
Right.
Slow down.
Right.
Get focused.
Well, and there's so many people out there offering so much advice. We really have to comb through it and make sure that if you're listening to something and you're like, yeah, that doesn't sound right, then move on. Don't listen to it anymore because, I mean, it's one thing getting out of your comfort zone, but it's another thing when it's just like, you know, that's not going to work. There's no sense. Zoom calls, you can do video chat. Oh, yeah, but then can we see each other? And she's going to reunion. I'm so excited.
All right, Bonnie.
I posted about this on Leadership a few months ago. I'm all over the place. I had to step back and refocus. Ugh. It is such a weird feeling because you know what ends up happening is instead of like, okay, so you're really busy and you're doing all these different things, but instead of feeling good about that, you feel like I was feeling bad. Like, oh my gosh, I suck. Like, what is wrong with me? Like, I'm not doing anything right. And then instead of doing anything good with all that, you end up going down this whole negative spin and you're like, you know, a mess. And I'm guessing, Lacey, that's probably where you were. You were just feeling like, oh my gosh, nothing is working. What is wrong with me? That's how I was feeling. And actually, that's how I was feeling today when I finally realized I don't know what to talk about tonight. I've tried to put stuff together. It's not coming together. I don't know. I just don't know. I'm hitting a wall. And I was feeling bad about it until I was talking to my friend, and she made me feel better about it. So it's always good to reach out to somebody who's going to make you feel better, too. I got to tell you, to have that person that you can connect with that isn't going to let you have a pity party, but is going to say, okay, well, hang on a second. That's real important. And if anybody needs somebody like that, you can holler at me, too. I don't want everybody to see me. I'm in my PJs already. I know, right? That's the kind of the beauty of some of these.
Fuck you.
I don't know. You don't have to show your video either. Oh, okay. Well, we'll have to look. The other reason why I do kind of like this is because we can post it out on the YouTube channel, and you guys can go through and look and see. I wish there would. Melina probably knows if there's a way to go back and retitle the different recordings, because if there is, I should do that so that people know what to look for. But at least that way they're there for everybody. Yes. Yeah, see, we're hard on ourselves. Instead of going, golly, okay, so I'm learning so much stuff and I'm so awesome. Instead, we're like, oh my gosh, I suck because I can't get my head on straight right now. And I don't know what I'm doing. And I have all these different directions I'm going. And that just is not a fun place to be. So that's why we have to just kind of stop and go, okay, wait. Okay, and take it back, like you said earlier. Go back to the basics. Take it back to my business is I sell pink zebra sprinkles, right? And I build relationships. So those are the two things that I have to make sure I'm always doing. So how do I like to do those two things? And that's kind of where I made my list. I'm like, well, I like to do vendor events, and I like to do parties, home parties. I'm not really big on doing online parties, but that's okay because that's what I like. And as long as I'm getting sales, you know, we don't have to be like everybody else. And just because somebody is really good at something, we shouldn't beat ourselves up about it because we're really good at something totally different.
Right.
So.
That's right, Dana.
So anyway, that's that. Hopefully that helped somebody. I know it really helped me today because, boy, I was that wall. I don't like that wall. That wall of frustration. And it's the first of the month, so, you know, and I'm behind on Tom's trainings, and I'm behind on Molly's training, so I'm just like, I gotta just wait. I gotta back it up. How do you get people pumped to book a home party? I'm talking to you. Yay, Lacey. Clarice, that is a great question. So, I'm going to be perfectly honest. I don't find it easy to book home parties. I mean, people have to literally trust me 100% that I'm going to bring the fun. And those are the only people. It's like because I tell people all the time, you know, well, all you have to do is have a home party and you get this for free and you get this at half price and then you could possibly get the VIP box, and it's like, oh, okay. But until they like trust you and maybe they see you in action, or you know, if you have a VIP page, use your VIP page.
So you're saying you're the party?
Right.
When they have a home party, you have to bring the fun and excitement?
Well, I do that just by making sure that, like, I want my hostess, all she's going to do is just make sure she's got her house ready and have her guests there. And then I come in, because I bring 7 to 8 cartons, and I bring my little essential candle holders, and I tell everybody who buys anything from me tonight, and I don't put a minimum on it, anybody who buys anything from me tonight gets to make a candle. And they're like, oh my gosh, what is that? And then I get to talk about that, and then I get to talk about it, and our products are so awesome. And honestly...
And do you mention the Heroes program?
You know what? Sometimes I do, and sometimes I don't. Here's the problem with my parties.
Hit 500.
Oh, I always talk about that.
Free daycare.
Yeah. I always talk about that. Okay. I don't always go into detail, but I always say if we get. In fact, the last party that I did, one lady ordered so much stuff. I was like, oh my gosh! With your order alone, we're going to give a day of daycare. And then she was like, what? And then that gave me the opening to talk about it some more. My problem is I don't have, like, some people have, like, this format that they follow. And I don't, because That's just not who I am. I've been in the sales field.
Well, you got to fill the room and
yes,
give the room what it wants, not give the room what you want to give it.
Exactly. I try to just, I try to pop in my little information here and there, but I don't stand up and make a long speech. Typically, what seems to happen is people start talking and then somebody starts smelling, and then it's kind of like it just kind of goes from there. And then I'm talking to different people, and I'll go, okay, well, hang on. If I could just have everybody's attention for 2 seconds, let me just tell y'all because she asked a really good question, and then I'll answer whatever her question was. I mean, it's totally on the fly, but that's who I am, and I don't want to be anybody else. I want to be me. I want them to want to have a party with me. So you do you. I mean, some people like scripts, and that's fine. If you are a script person, what's the lady that was at the training? And I didn't list her on here because I don't follow her much, but she was at our reunion last year, and she does parties, and she kind of gives like a whole script and presentation, and that's great. I mean, if that's...
Well, the bad thing about the script, if you're going to do a script, you need to learn the script.
Right, because it's
you can't go there... Well, we have the pink zebra, whatever. Right. Well, you can't read it.
Well, okay, so I am going to say one thing. Yes, you want to know your products, but if you're new at this and you have some notes with you and you say, give me just a second, let me refer to my notes because this is my first party.
That's true too.
Because you know what? When our neighbor down the street came and he was selling Cutco,
and I was thinking of my niece also.
So both of them came and sold Cutco to us, and they did the whole script thing, and I was kind of going like,
yeah, they're reading it out of the script, and they're like, hang on. And it's like, really, we got to go through that?
Right. And I even said to the second one, I'm like, I've already heard this before. She goes, I know, but I need to. So whatever, I still bought from both of them.
She had to practice so she would get better at it.
Yeah. I don't do a script. I go with the flow of the crowd. Exactly. But your script can't sound like a nervous robot. No. Right. No, you don't want it to for sure. And you want to be having fun because the whole purpose is you want somebody else there to say, well, I want to have a party. Because honestly, I think the reason why I get additional bookings off of parties is because of my little candle bar. Because people will say, this is so cool, and I'll tell them, well, if you want to have a party and you invite your friends, I'll do the same thing for you.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, cool, okay. So, what?
Well, some of these people that are talking about it's hard to find parties.
It is hard to find, yeah.
What about teaming up with another direct sales person that they may know and do a dual party?
I do that all the time.
You invite your friends, I invite mine. Yeah. My friends already know Pink Zebra, but they don't know what you got. Right. Your friends know what you got. They don't know about Pink Zebra.
Right. I do that all the time.
So you have twice as many people coming and have a party that way.
Right. And I will
and have your own party. I mean, have your own home party with your guests. And
I had a lady who said to me when I said to her, well, do you want to have a party? Because she was like, oh my gosh, I love it. She wanted all this stuff. And I'm like, all you got to do is have a party. And she said, oh, but if I have a party for you, my girlfriend with Premier is going to kill me because I haven't had a party for her yet. And I said, well, have a dual party. I don't mind it if she doesn't mind it. We can both come. And that way you got it done and you'll get your free stuff. And she was like, oh my gosh, that's a great idea. So, yeah, I mean, you do what works, It's all about making the sale at the end of the day. Yeah. And, you're developing...
Well, one day we had, who did we have? We had like 2 other companies here.
Yeah.
Tupperware. Do we have Tupperware?
Tupperware, and then I also had a lady who made wreaths.
Oh, the wreath lady, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't have to be by the book, simply, Pink Zebra at all.
Just whatever gets people together.
The problem with blending is make sure they will bring guests like you do. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Right, I wouldn't do it otherwise, for sure. I'm doing a home party in May. Oh, good.
You even go.
I want to hear how it goes, Lacey, because I think that they're gonna like light up.
What was that thing you went to over here at that deal that Karen went to, and she invited people, and it was for a benefit?
Oh, at the boutique.
Yeah, you do nights like that too.
Yeah, if you have any little small boutiques in town, that obviously they don't sell candles, but go in and kind of get to know the people that run the place, and you tell them, say, hey, if you ever want, I can come in one evening and do a.
She even advertised for it.
Yeah, she advertised.
Oh, that was the other one she advertised, or did she?
No, she advertised.
Okay.
And so it was all her customers coming in.
Yeah. I mean, and she even advertised that you were going to be there.
Yeah. Yeah, it was great. It was great. So there's all kinds of different ways. We just have to kind of, get out of our heads sometimes and
create your own girls' night out.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's almost 7 o'clock, y'all. So anyway, does anybody have anything else or any other questions? I don't, as far as finding parties, like he said, create parties, go out and, talk to people. It's hard, but hey, Jessica. Yeah, watch the replay. Absolutely.
You just have to use your imagination and use your creativity.
Yeah.
And make it happen. It's not easy. Once you make it happen, then you're going to make it happen again.
And honestly, so Tom had us, doing his 16 parties and trying to book 16 parties, and I was like, oh my gosh, I think I booked 8. And doing 8 parties in a month, that's a lot of parties when you also have a team and you also have, all the other things going on. So my goal, honestly, my goal is to always have at least $1,000 in sales every month. Most months I'm there. Some months I'm not, but that's okay. I don't beat myself up about it. But my goal is, so if I'm doing $1,000 in a month, that means, I need to book a couple of parties, or I need to book a couple of party on the goes, or I've always got to have a couple of things going. So, you don't have to beat yourself up about it. You don't have to
say don't burn yourself out.
No, definitely don't.
You want to be here for the long haul, not
right.
It's not a sprint.
Right. And honestly, yeah, absolutely. And then we kind of go into the whole recruiting thing. So, because you want to be sure you're always recruiting, and the simpler you make it seem, the easier it is for people to go, well, tell me about your business. Tell me about the business side. So, because you want that. That's how because we are it's not all about what I do. Bye, Duane. It's also about what your team does and what you do with your team. So there's, that too. So that's kind of where I was going into the recruiting. So anyway, okay, so he's going to go on, and I guess we can go ahead and end because it is 7:02 now. But I appreciate you guys tuning in and just letting me be real. I appreciate that too. I love you guys. I hope you have an amazing April. We'll be back in a couple of weeks, and we're going to have another guest speaker, and I'm super excited. It's going to be a fun one, so I'll tell you more later. I don't want to give it all away. But anyway, have a great week. Share if you have any awesome things happen, because we love to hear it. Okay? Okay, guys.